And we are bringing you back here on WFAA Plus to the Next Generation Action Network office in Dallas, where we were expected to hear from the family of
Check.
Carmelo Anthony at about 11 o'clock. It's about 20 minutes past the hour. And we are told that this delay is because unexpectedly, the father of the victim in this case, Jeff Metcalf, the father of Austin Metcalf, has arrived. He's standing there behind that camera. You can kind of see his shoulder there
Yeah,
in the blue
that
shorts.
is
And we
him.
are told that Mr. Metcalf was asked to leave. He has refused to leave. He is still standing there. We're told that Dallas police have been called. If you are unfamiliar with this case, or if you just need to be caught up on it, it's been almost exactly 2 weeks. Yesterday marked 2 weeks since one student was accused of stabbing and killing another student, both Frisco ISD students, at a track meet. The student who passed away was Austin Metcalf, and the student who was accused of killing him is Carmelo Anthony. This case has garnered so much attention, has sparked so much speculation on social media about what started it. You can get a better look on your camera there. These are photos of Jeff Metcalf, who is standing in the room there. But this is a case that has gotten so much attention. And so for the first time today, we were expecting to hear from the parents of the teenager who is accused of killing Austin Metcalf. And what you're looking at on your screen right now is Jeff Metcalf. He is the father of Austin Metcalf. He arrived to this press conference today. He was not expected to be at this press conference. These are photos that were taken by my colleague, Jobin Puneker. And you can see he's standing there. He has sunglasses on. We've seen at least one person go up and try to speak with him. He doesn't really seem to be interacting. These are still photos, but when we were watching the video, he didn't really seem to be interacting with anyone. He's kind of standing in the back of the room, just waiting. Again, was asked to leave, still standing in the room. So we are waiting on an update on what's going to happen with that, as Dallas police have been called. But what we do know is that there was a court order put in place that Anthony, who is the accused killer in this case, was told he could not have any contact with Metcalf's family. This press conference was for Anthony's parents, Carmelo Anthony's parents. It's unclear if he is actually in the building. So it's unclear if Jeff Metcalf being here is a violation of a court order. We just know that Carmelo Anthony is not to have contact with the Metcalf family, indirectly or directly, according to a court order. So we are standing by to get more information on that. But we are told that Jeff Metcalf's presence in this room is the reason that we are late, the reason that we have not started this yet. So we are waiting on information on that.
And
We did just learn
welcome.
that Carmelo Anthony is actually not in the building. So at this point, it doesn't seem that this would be a violation of a court order. So it's still a bit unclear what the delay is here. Perhaps him just being there is the reason. Okay, we just received information that the Next Generation Action Network, which is the advocacy group that is actually hosting this press conference, has said that they will not start this press conference until Jeff Metcalf leaves this office. So
Guys, welcome,
I'm just getting
welcome.
more and more information about this from our crew that's at the scene here. We're being told that there are no uniformed officers who are on the property at this time. Next Generation Action Network says they have plainclothes officers there, but Dallas police have been called to come here because Jeff Metcalf, the father of Austin Metcalf, has arrived here, and the advocacy group that is, really hosting this press conference says that they will not start the press conference while he is in the room. So we are just standing by. Seems to be a bit of a stalemate at this time. Again, he has been asked to leave. Obviously, he's still standing there. So it's unclear what the resolution will be here. We will keep you updated. We're going to stay here until we see what happens here, and we'll update you. And we just panned in the room there. We're taking a look at the podium at the office. This is where we're assuming when there is a press conference, if there's a press conference, this is where they will be. But what we were looking at, if we're able to pan back, I'll point out to you Jeff Metcalf, who has arrived at this scene, who is the father of the teenager who was killed almost exactly 2 weeks ago at a track meet. Again, this press conference, there he is right there. Those are photos of him standing in the room, again, with sunglasses on, just standing there. He was asked to leave. He said no. He's still standing here. This was a press conference where Carmelo Anthony, the teenager who was accused of committing this offense, his parents were going to address the media for the very first time. And the Next Generation Action Network said that the purpose of this press conference was for them to tell their truth. They feel that there has been misinformation in this case. They feel that there have been what was called a wave of falsehoods in this case. So the purpose of this morning's press conference was for them to essentially set the record straight from their point of view. It seems as if they were not expecting for Mr. Metcalf to be here. They said they are not going to speak until he leaves. Now, what we haven't seen is really any confrontation, really any interaction from Mr. Metcalf since he's arrived here. It's unclear if they've made contact, if they've spoken or anything like that. The only thing we know at this point is that there seems to be a stalemate here with the family saying that they're not going to speak until he leaves, him being asked to leave and choosing not to. So we're going to keep our shot up in this room so you can kind of keep an eye on what's going on. And as soon as we have more information about what comes next, we'll let you know.
Well, hi guys. She's doing such a great job of telling what's going on. And also I have the chat up. I'm not sure if y'all can see it there, but it's kind of there's always the chat.
Yeah, what you're looking at now, these are some still photos that came from
Yeah.
the field of the father of Austin Metcalf, the teenager that was stabbed and killed at a track meet 2 weeks ago. This is him in the room, standing with media. If you're just joining us, just going to walk you back through this case. Want to make sure that
Well, let her do it. She's doing great.
Yesterday marked 2 weeks since a student stabbed and killed another student at a track meet, Frisco ISD students, in a case that has really just sparked so much conversation, so much debate on social media, online, not just in North Texas, but really all over, with so many questions about how this started, what led up to this, and tragedy really for both families. So for the first time today, there was a press conference that was scheduled to be held by the Next Generation Action Network in Dallas, where the parents of Carmelo Anthony, who is the student who was accused of stabbing the student who passed away, he is facing a murder charge. His parents were going to speak and address the media and set the record straight from their point of view. Of course, that has not started yet. Unexpectedly, the father of the teen who was killed, Jeff Metcalf, father of Austin Metcalf, has shown up and is standing in the room. So that's kind of where we're standing with that right now. Just want to walk you through some updates in this case as we're waiting on.
So she's getting information.
Sorry, I'm getting more updates from our producer now. So we're standing by. Jobin Penniker is actually in the room here. He's the one who is sending these photos. He's been covering this case, and he's actually at the Next Gen office with this. So we're standing by for a live update from him inside of the room. But if you are just joining us, we are trying to hear from Carmelo Anthony's parents. And we are kind of standing by to see what comes of Austin Metcalf's father being in the room, and Anthony's parents saying they're not going to speak till he leaves. We're going to see if we can get Jobin Penniker to give us an update live as well.
Are you guys familiar with this story? This is definitely in my area. I've been seeing a lot of
all right, we are being told that Jobin Penniker is going to be available in just a little bit. So until he is, just want to give you a quick update in this case. You know, earlier this week, actually on Monday,
she's doing a good job.
Anthony was released from jail after his bond was lowered, so he is able to be at home. We're told he's not actually at this press conference right now. His parents are expected to speak, and we are hoping to get an update from them if this situation can be resolved with Jeff Metcalf being there. And again, Jobin Penniker is actually live there, so we're going to take him now.
Yeah, that press conference was supposed to start here at 11 o'clock. We're here in downtown Dallas. This press conference was precipitated by Next Generation Action Network, a Dallas-based advocacy group, speaking on behalf of the Carmelo Anthony family. You know, over the last 2 weeks, we've been getting press statements from them. This was the opportunity to hear from them for the first time. We're now hearing from Dominique Alexander with Next Generation that this press conference has been delayed. I'm going to have Billy Bryant, who is one of our photographers, go out, show you a lot of the people here still waiting for this press conference to happen. And the reason for this delay is because Austin Metcalf's father is here, Jeff Metcalf. As you know, Carmelo Anthony was arrested, charged with murder in the death of Austin Metcalf. Police say Metcalf was stabbed with a knife at a track meet in Frisco. You see there a picture of Jeff Metcalf. He is on his phone. Had a chance to talk with somebody there with Next Generation Action Network. They tell us they've asked Jeff Metcalf to leave. He said no. They said they were going to call DPD to remedy this situation, have Jeff Metcalf leave, because there's, according to Next Generation, they are not going to have both families here in the same location at the same time. They said there's a court order that says that. We've been looking through some of our documents. I don't think there's anything that says that per se. Now there is some language that says Carmelo Anthony cannot have any connection with the Metcalf family in any way. So we're still trying to figure out what's going on here. Still a very fluid situation. Again, a delay here. It's supposed to start at 11 o'clock. It is now after 11:30. We'll see what ends up precipitating here.
Obviously very heightened when you have this situation and both families in the same room when they haven't had this before. So that is understandable. Okay, well, listen, we'll check back in with you. We know you're talking to people, and we'll get to the bottom of it. Thank you so much, Jobin. Okay, so you don't miss any.
You just heard from Jobin Puneker, who is actually live at the Next Gen Action Network office in Dallas. And if you're curious at all about how Jeff Metcalf was able to get in there, just if you've never been there, they actually have an office in a co-working space. So there are other offices in that building as well. So that's probably how he was able to easily get into there. And again, the Anthony family says they're not going to speak while he's there.
I'm going to turn this down just for a second, just while they're still waiting. This is interesting. I hope you guys are familiar with the story. She did a great job of breaking it down. The Channel 8 News. So, okay, well, I think she's about to show something. Hang on. So hopefully all of these backstories are catching y'all up.
Joining us here on WFA Plus, I'm Chris Sadeghi, and we are going to take you inside the hearing, the bond hearing for Carmelo Anthony that happened on Monday morning. There's a lot of public interest on this case. There were no cameras allowed inside the courtroom. So joining me are Jobin Puneker and Brittany Moncrief. The three of us were inside that courtroom, and we're here to really take you through what was said, what you were not able to see and hear because of the ban on cameras. We are going to take you from before the hearing to everything that happened during, and then everything that happened after.
Okay.
And then we have the raw interviews with the DA, the defense attorney, and also the NAACP. I want to start before the hearing.
So
Jobin, you cover Collin County a lot. You've covered a lot of cases at that courthouse. Can you compare?
I'm going to take this down. This is the bond hearing. He did, of course, had $1 million bond. He then got the bond reduced and was able to make bail. I will also drop the link to this to the newscast that is doing this if you want to go over there and listen to that. But this has been a really interesting story. Hey, good to see you, homie. Good to see you. I'm confused, but okay, sure, why not? This has been an interesting story of the families, and it's interesting because I'm looking at Jeff Metcalf, the father of the victim, in his demeanor. He comes in peace. It's not a group. Well, he comes in a peaceful presentation. You know, he could have something, as soon as they think he could. I'm not saying he does. I'm just saying you never know. At this moment, he seems to be in a peaceful manner. Hey, I just want to hear what these people have to say. This is the father. This is the mother and father of the man who took my son's life. And the family's not coming out. The Anthony family says that it won't come out until he leaves. They have gone so far as to call the police department. And that speaks volumes to me as far as oh, hang on. I still want us to be able to see those guys. Where do they go? That still speaks volumes to me. That's good. As far as why can't you come out? I mean, am I looking into this too wrong? Am I reading into it? Am I picking too hard? But if you want to come out and tell your story, and your story is the truth, why would you have an issue coming out with the Mr. Metcalf being there? There's always a saying that I've always heard out in the streets, and it says the truth is to be told, not sold. So if you're coming out and speaking your truth, I don't understand why you can't come out with no matter who's in the audience. And if your truth is your truth, or perhaps maybe there's gaps in the story. I'm just making assumptions. I'm not by any means thinking I know anything great. Please just, I'm working this all out in my mind in real time with you guys. I wanted to bring this story to you. I know a lot of people don't tend to watch the news. This is a story here that has happened in my area, and it has been on social media a lot, talking about the situation. Some people are saying it was self-defense. He put his hand on him. Other people are saying, why was he underneath the tent? So a lot of people are saying that this young man, Anthony, Mr. Anthony, I forget his first name, should not be charged with anything because it was self-defense. There is a story, I have not been able to confirm it, but I also haven't looked it up. So that the young man, when the police officer said, I'm with the alleged victim, the young man said, oh, it's not allegedly, I did it. And then said, hey, but, told the story and said, do you think that this will count as self-defense? And again, this was at a high school track meet. So why would a young man have a knife in his backpack? Why was he sitting under the wrong tent? Why did he not leave when he was asked to leave? There's a lot of, what's a good word to use? There's a lot of pieces on the board and a lot of things that happen. And I'm sure, of course, the Anthony family does, see it as one way versus the Metcalf family, yes, sees it another. And let's not forget, he was there with his, he was there with his twin brother, and he died in his twin brother's arms. Can you imagine? Can you imagine going to a high school track meet with your twin brother who all of a sudden is in a confrontation under the school's tent at the school's event? Not saying it was his school, I'm just saying a school's event, and your brother is stabbed in the chest, and now you are holding him as he takes his last breath. That has to be a feeling like no other, unless you've experienced it. There's just no words to even describe it. I don't feel that. I don't understand what that feels like, but I can only imagine the pain that young man is feeling on a different level of it being his twin brother. The Metcalf family has done very well in the media presence. I've seen them. They seem to be calm, well-spoken. They're definitely a family of faith. They've spoken about their faith from the very beginning of this. And I as a woman of faith, I'm quite sure that it is their faith that is getting them through this and allowing them to stay calm. That is what I refer to as the peace of the Lord. I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about, but I can see that evident here in this Metcalf family. Again, the Anthony family, however, it seems to be some resistance. It seems to be something that is causing them to not to want to come out and speak on this. So basically, we're just following the news program, waiting for it to come up. Says, yeah, it's a very complex and nuisance situation. I listened about it with plenty objective investigation on the channel, Pro Sanchez. Yeah, see, I don't know. I hear arguments that I agree with. I hear arguments that I disagree with. Okay, it looks like something's happening. Let's go back.
The gentleman that you just saw there on your screen at the podium is Dominique Alexander. He is the president of the Next Generation Action Network. This is the advocacy group that is actually hosting a press conference for the parents of Carmelo Anthony. They've been releasing statements for the family.
We get started so we can put some house rules together. If we can swing over here and swing across the wall, We have security that are here in the building. We have a blended of Dallas Police Department and security for the Next Generation Action Network. Let me make this very clear because I say this unapologetically. The Next Generation Action Network has never played with the safety and security of anything. We don't play those type of games, all right? We like to, whenever we're doing a protest or anything, everybody in the media know we don't play when it comes to safety and security. So we're gonna ask one time for it and ask you to slide over just one time. We're not gonna ask anybody something twice, okay? I will make sure that the safety of this family is ensured. It won't happen on my watch. I just want you to know so that you can quote it. If we have to ask more than once, just know that's coming at the direction of me. You can quote me on that. All right?
Wow. Coming in hot. Somebody's coming in hot. Wow. Is this action? I'll leave that for another conversation. I'm not sure if Mr. Metcalf is still there or not.
You just heard from Dominique Alexander, the president of the Next Gen Action Network. We are expecting to hear from the parents of Carmelo Anthony, the high school student who was accused of stabbing and killing another high school student at a track meet about 2 weeks ago. This press conference was delayed because the father of the student who was killed unexpectedly arrived at the press conference. Originally, the Next Gen Action Network said that the press conference would not go on as long as Mr. Metcalf, Jeff Metcalf, was in the room. It's unclear. I'm trying to get information about if he is still there, how that was resolved. But the president of this organization says that they are starting here in a few minutes. If you did hear what he just said, if you didn't, we'll recap you quickly. Alexander was very clear and did not mince words about security at this event. He said that there are DPD officers as well as private security in the premises. They are here. He said he was very, very clear in saying that they were only going to ask once for safety precautions to be taken. And he said, that is their big priority with this press conference. Again, unclear if Mr. Metcalf is still in the room. If you are just joining us, this is a case that has created so much speculation over the past 2 weeks. You have one family whose child was accused of murder for stabbing another student, and another family who is mourning the loss of their son. And today we are expected to hear from the parents of the child who has been accused. To get their side of the story. The group that's advocating for them says that they want to set the record straight. We're getting an update now on whether or not Mr. Metcalf is still in the room. So we've just learned that Mr. Metcalf, Jeff Metcalf, the father of Austin Metcalf, the teen who was killed, has left the premises. I mentioned to you a few moments ago, the Next Gen Action Network's office is actually inside of a co-working space. The owner of that co-working space asked Mr. Metcalf to leave, saying that he was trespassing, and we are told that Mr. Metcalf has left. Dominique Alexander, the president of the organization hosting this press conference, says they are expected to start in a few minutes. No word yet on any interaction that happened between Metcalf and the Anthony family, between Next Gen Generation Action Network. We are told that a representative did ask him to leave initially, and he said no. But we are, again, being told that the owner of this space said that he was trespassing and asked him to leave. So we're seeing different people come up to the podium, check audio levels. That is standard for a press conference like this. We were told by the group hosting this that it will start in a few minutes. And we, again, are expecting to hear for the first time addressing the media, the Anthony family, to get their perspective, their thoughts, setting the record straight, addressing what they call falsehoods in this case. So many people have been discussing it as their son is accused of murder in this case. So we will keep an eye on this, update you with any information as we get it, and listen in when we can.
Yeah, so we're just here now. We're waiting for the Anthony family to come in. You guys are just now coming in. This is an interesting case. This is a discussion. This actually happened here in my area. So I'm I find it interesting that the Anthony family wouldn't come out with Mr. Metcalf there. And also he was pretty, he wasn't loud, he was by himself, he wasn't causing any discourse in the room. However, the Anthony family did. And then as you just saw Dominique Alexander come out and give his speech of he don't play, basically. I'm not here to play. And I got to tell you, that really set the tone for the room. This type of energy, does this type of tone, does this type of hostility, as I viewed it, if you viewed it a different way, please let me know. However, does that help peace? Does that help bring about change? Or does that just create the discourse and the oppositions and division that this case seems to come a lot with, because there is a certain community that sees that Mr. Anthony had the right to do what he did and he should receive no jail time, whereas other people believe that this should be punished to the fullest extent. So now we're just waiting for the family to come in and talk.
All right, guys and girls, about a minute. Sorry for the wait, like drama, right?
Oh my. Yeah. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. I definitely want to see what the family has to say. I want to kind of get a feel for them. I couldn't imagine what it would be like to have my high school son be in this situation. I can only imagine the distress and the pain that they are feeling. So I definitely want to see this. I have the chat up on screen because, man, just like all chats everywhere, the chat is its own separate entertainment. And in the chat, there seems to be a lot of support from both sides, and it's interesting to see different people's points of view from this and perspective of this. It says, how much more practice to read a prepared statement? Man, so I just want to hear what they have to say. I wanted to bring it, guys, to you. Hopefully you guys are familiar with the story. Let me know what you think. It says right here, Dad thinks showing us what you raised like a father like son bully. Was he a bully? Was Mr. Anthony a bully? Was he a bully? Maybe you're trying to hype this and create another summer of love. It says, what guilty verdict? Clearly innocent. Let this press conference convince you. I want to see the press conference. I want to hear from them how they're perceiving this. Again, I've seen a couple of interviews or news stories that Mr. Metcalf has spoken, and he is a man of faith, and he speaks about his faith in this moment. as in this moment earlier when he arrived, he's been calm. He hasn't been angry, hasn't been yelling into the camera. He's obviously a man that is very, very broken right now. But he's honest in that. And if somebody were going to get up and discuss a case involving my son,
Test 1 2, mic check. Mic check, test 1 2. Thank you.
Well, who is this? I would definitely want to be there to see what the family had to say. So I find it interesting that the family didn't want to come out until he left. And then when they did send out the president of this Next Generation Network, he came out on 10. I just seen this other gentleman. What was that? Was that a camera vest? What was that? Like, I don't know. A whole lot of going on is what I'm trying to say. But dang, this was supposed to start at 11 a.m. Central Time. It is now 11:53.
If you take a look at your screen now, what you are looking at is video of Jeff Metcalf being escorted out of the co-working space where the Next Gen Action Network's office is.
Wow.
You see that there. Jeff Metcalf, the gentleman who was wearing the sunglasses and the blue shirt, who's being escorted out, is the father of Austin Metcalf, who was the teenager who was stabbed and killed in traffic 2 weeks ago. He is being asked to leave, escorted out of a press conference that is being held, where the parents of the child who was accused of killing Metcalf's child are expected to speak. You can see there he's shaking hands with officers. He was asked to leave. That press conference is starting now. Here's Anthony's family.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I'm gonna spread this across y'all before I get started. Just make sure you let me know if any one of your cameras are.
Or what?
One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, testing. We all good? We all good? Okay. All righty.
So many, Yolanda.
I want to start off this press conference to say something as a deep note that I can tell America. What we seen at the beginning of this press conference, the father being at this press conference, these are my words. Don't quote anybody. Is a disrespect to the dignity of his son.
What?
Next Generation Action Network from the beginning has respected the loss of life.
Oh,
No
hell.
matter our opinion of it, we have kept our opinion close. We have not attacked. We have not shared the information that was shared with us about Austin Metcalf, because we respect the dignity of life and loss. And as a minister, I would not attack a grieving family, even if I disagree with them. When I have stood before this podium for people who have died at the hands of law enforcement, I have asked for that same manner of respect. And even when the shoe is on the other foot, I will not do that. And all I'm going to say, so it don't be asked later, is that was disrespectful and just shows you all the character who is not invited. He knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family, but he did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words.
Facts.
Okay? What he has failed into is the political operatives that want to make this thing a political thing of hate, yet bigotry, and yet racism. We have conservative operatives that have been posting nonstop about this case. It is outright disrespectful. We haven't been doing it. The Next Generation Action Network has been here, popular and unpopular. So regardless of what's going on, that was disrespectful. Disrespectful. And I will leave it to y'all to define it. But of course we want to. Y'all, I'm Minister Dominique Alexander. I serve as the president of the Next Generation Action Network. Today I come before you with a heavy heart, but determined in spirit, not just as an advocate, but as a Black man, as a father, as a protector, community, and children. There are 4 critical points I must address today, and I want to make sure that the public and the media and everyone who believes in truth and justice. First, the misinformation about the fund. From the very beginning, there was an intentional disinformation surrounding the fund created in the support of the Anthony family.
Oh.
The Carmelo Anthony Fund, hosted by Give, Send, Go. Let's be clear. The family has not received one dime. Any of the media could have verified this, but we saw on Twitter, we saw on Facebook, and so many different things of the false, lavish life of this family. $800,000 home, purchase Escalade, and private security. Let me make this very clear. The Next Generation Action Network has always had its security detail. Many of you that know us in the Dallas and Fort Worth media know that we have our own security detail. One of the individuals that escorted Carmelo Anthony out of jail is here present with us now. They are a part of the Next Generation Action Network security team. The family hasn't hired any private contractors or whatever, or splurged or whatever. But if they have the audacity to spend money for their safety and security, that's their prerogative.
Man.
The family has not withdrawn, and just until recently, just yesterday, they were officially notified by Give, Send, Go that they could start the withdrawal process. But if anybody know about this process, they know that that takes about 2 to 3 days to withdraw from that and actually hit any account. But this blatant propaganda wasn't just about the fund. It was to discourage the public from giving to the fund. That's what this was about. Because just like TMZ was able to call, Give, Send, Go, everybody in the media, in these news outlets that I've never heard before, could have did the same thing. When I first called Give, Send, Go, they gave me every information that I needed. Okay? So that's what I'm going to say on regards to that. Let me make this very clear. This family never authorized a single fund on the GoFundMe platform. All of the funds that were raised on the GoFundMe were all fraud.
Wow. Hey, man, you talk about money is the love of money. This I
All
can't
of
believe
the
this is how they
funds that was
started.
raised on that platform were fraud. Okay. The family was the first to report these funds. One of the funds we identified raised up to 11,000. So a post about anything that stated that GoFundMe took everything down regarding Carmelo Anthony, that was at the request of the family and their supporters. This family
Right.
never tried to create an account on GoFundMe. The Next Generation Action Network is very well aware of the company's policy regarding raising funds for legal defense. Okay? Since this tragedy unfolded, the Anthony family has been subject to unimaginable amount of hate, racism, threats to their safety. People have sat outside their house, sent objects delivered to their door, publicly harassed, online and in person. This is not just about Carmelo. It's about the family who dared to stand and demand justice in a return and receive ugliness that racism in this country still breeds. But let me say this loud and clear.
Yeah.
We are not scared. We are not moving. We will not be silent. What I've always said as the president of the Next Generation Action Network, we will never ask the oppressor for permission to liberate our people.
Oh.
We will not ask
The
for
church.
permission to stand
I
up for the
bet.
rights of our children. The Next Generation Action Network has stood on both sides of the fence in ensuring that justice is served. Now, getting to the information that the Next Generation Action Network wanted to share with the public today. And I will go ahead and pass it over to the mother once I make this statement, okay?
Okay, yeah. This
All right.
man, he's loving this moment.
There's two more final. For the last week and a half, the Next Generation Action Network has engaged in communications with Frisco ISD to ensure that Carmelo Anthony's due process is not violated. We know that in the state of Texas, there are things that are discretionary things and decisions by the leadership of Frisco ISD, right? There are clear guidance in the state and education code regarding expulsion of a student. We have asked several times. We didn't just rush. We have had these conversations over the last several days. And we have stated that it is just outright wrong to get involved in this. Carmelo Anthony doesn't have to walk. He doesn't have to involve in any senior activities. But Carmelo Anthony is a 3.7 GPA student. And if he doesn't even go to class for the remainder of the year, he would graduate, okay? We've asked that Frisco do not make a decision in this situation. But Frisco ISD has notified of their intent to expel Carmelo Anthony from school 1 month before his high school graduation. That just shows me that Frisco ISD is trying to push off the blame. And what I have not heard the media say, as many media outlets have asked us what went on, I'm trying to find how many of y'all have asked the superintendent or one single board of trustee, why didn't you cancel or postpone? With weather in that magnitude, you couldn't have a track meet in rain or thunderstorm or clouds. Y'all are the media. Ask your journalists, your weather journalists, how the weather was that day and that time. Y'all do that research.
Boy, he
Because
sounds like a
as a person
YouTuber.
who is the administrator of your children, you are responsible for the safety of the children.
No.
And so it seems as if Frisco ISD is trying to push this off by making this decision that they do not have to make. So the Next Generation Action Network, outside of the legal process, will be going through different avenues regarding to ensure that we fight for the rights of Carmelo Anthony. Okay? So in the next coming days, we will be announcing to the public. We will do direct action outside of Frisco ISD administration office because this is outright wrong. You are getting involved in a process that even the legal process has asked us to respect. And we're asking you to do that same thing. You do not have to get involved in this situation.
What?
But it seems that even with us going and meeting or having conversations, they have made their mind up. And we want to make sure that the record, that we talk truth to power in regards. I wanted to lay this out to ensure, because of the sensitivity of this case, there are so many moving factors that I have to explain so that this family does not have to explain. Let me say this about the 4th, and let me repeat this so that you guys can go to the Frisco Police Department. The reason why the family or me or anybody with direct knowledge of this cannot talk about the particulars of what happened in that tent, I know you know this is all law, is because if anybody tell you there was an adult near or inside or whatever, this current investigation knows nothing about that. Everybody involved at this point of our knowledge are minors. In the state of Texas, you know we cannot release or talk about minors. So stop asking us the question. Stop. It's no. We can't even do it if we wanted to. Okay? We can't talk about it. So don't ask. There is a court of law that will express everything, will lay out everything. We can't talk about it if we wanted to. Okay? So make it clear. Go back, confirm with Frisco Police Department. Go back, confirm with the district attorney. Even in the bond hearing, you didn't see a single thing said about people that was indirect. They're minors. Okay? So stop. The social media, stop. I haven't saw not one person single-handedly get this right in the public. They're minors, y'all. Just stop.
What?
We can't. Don't send another inquiry to NGAN inbox, do this, all of that. That's the reason why we felt like it was important to do this press conference today. We can't talk about it. So if you ask me, I'm just going to look at you, okay? So I'm telling the world, everybody know the state law. I'm not creating it. We can't talk about it. This family can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. Nobody, unless you want to be sued.
Right.
You release one of those 16-year-olds or 15-year-olds and 17-year-olds name, the law of this land tells you what will going to happen to you. Okay? So don't ask that question. Finally, in regards to this judge, I do not know Judge Angela Tucker. I've never met her, never known her, never been nowhere near her court. Don't know anything about her until we were notified that she was going to hear the writ. But the ugly attacks on her just shows Black America that no matter what you pick in the ballot box, and that is your constitutional right, it's people out here reminding us of the Black struggle in America. This woman is a registered Republican, has been for years. She put herself through school. She raised her family. She did everything. I am a registered Democrat, proud. I'm the chair of the Dallas County Democrat Resolutions Committee. I don't know that woman. And to call her leftist is just downright. The bond that was given is according to law and consistency with practice. If Aaron Dean can get a $300,000 bond when he killed a Tatiana Jefferson, Carmelo Anthony can get a $250,000. If Amber Geiger can get a $200,000 bond when she kills Botham Jean in his own home, he can get a $250,000. If Roy Oliver can get a $250,000 bond after he kills Jordan Edwards, all white officers, why couldn't Carmelo Anthony be entitled, a child with no background, no criminal background, no endangerment to the community, none whatsoever, be placed on a ELM and brought home? Please help me understand. Make this make sense. It's consistency. It's consistent with practice. After this, y'all, so that we'll know, this will be our final press conference until this trial. We will not speak to the media again after this, okay? Don't ask for comment, question, or whatever it is. The actions that the Next Generation Action Network take on Frisco ISD will be as separate from the legal process, because we want to make sure that Carmelo Anthony's due process, this is going to be a jury case. And then let me make this very clear. This is a case that has not even been indicted. So, under the guise of Texas law, it's not even really proceeding to a trial yet, because it has not even went through a grand jury to be indicted. We don't know if a grand jury will indict or not. We don't know. That's in the district attorney's hands, okay? And their legal team is preparing a packet for those things, and we will not be talking about the legal process regarding this case, okay? So after today, I just want the media to know, and I want the public to know, I don't care what you say about me. I've been in this thing for 11 years. I am tried, tested, and proven. I'm gonna just say, I'm from Oak Cliff. Worser things have been said about me, baby. You ain't gotta inbox me, you ain't gotta tell me. I am the first person to tell my testimony. I don't have to prove anything to nobody.
What?
I am a proven testimony standing here that God, even when you make mistakes, God is not finished with your story. I'm going to bring this mother, Kayla Hayes, and it has taken her a lot of strength, y'all, to come and do this today. And I want you guys to respect her as she read this, and giving her the respect that she deserves, y'all.
Good afternoon. My name is Kayla Hayes. I am the mother of Carmelo Anthony. 3 years ago, my family moved to North Texas searching for a better life. Like so many other families, we wanted to give our children the future we did not have. My husband worked hard every single day to provide for us, to make sure we're in the best financial position possible. As a stay-at-home mom, I made it my life's mission to ensure our children are loved, nurtured, and supported every step of the way. In wake of this tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Carmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about. The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her. And let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser. And the co-founder has stated that clearly. In the reality, we were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds.
Man.
And it still takes several days to receive those funds once a request is made. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. He's been raised in a 2-parent home with structure, stability, love, and we put God first in everything that we do. We believe in the Constitution. We believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us. To be clear, we will not speak publicly about specific details of what happened under the tent on that rainy and awful day. There's an active investigation that everyone involved wants to be full and fair. We believe in the legal process, and that is where the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you. To those who have supported my family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We ask for your continued support, patience, and prayers as we navigate this difficult process. Thank you.
Oh,
Y'all, I'm gonna show something up of a post. You come for me, I come for you.
oh, good Lord.
Sarah Fields. Never heard of this woman. This is the kind of despicable things that led to the father being here. Political operatives motivating this family with hate. Carmelo Anthony posted on something that shows, posted here. These are the type of lies that are threatening this family. Posting the family's picture. These are the type of lies. She's getting millions of views on this. Sarah, she's even came after me.
Uh-oh.
She's even said all of those things. And now that the public knows exactly what is going on, I asked, because these racist bigots try to prevent us from standing up for our baby, our boy, He should be afforded the same rights that Kyle Rittenhouse had, Daniel Penna, and all of the people who have claimed whatever their defense was. He should be afforded the same right. Nobody in the public media has one video camera, but we got the video of Kyle Rittenhouse with an AK-47 shooting 3 people in the back.
Fact.
We got that. And he raised more than $2 million publicly, and nobody said anything. So since they tried to come for us, I call for the community's overwhelming support for this fund. The disinformation that was put out was literally deliberate to prevent you from helping this family. And I want you to give overwhelming support to show them the community united can never be divided. And I'm going to say this again, and this is for everybody. Black people in America, while the current occupant sits at 1600 Pennsylvania, Black people in America don't have to pull the race card. It's what we live as a reality every day. It's what we have to teach our children. We don't want to, but we have to. We don't like to, but if we want to sleep at night, we got to. I ain't pulling no race card. I live it. I'm reminded all the time that I'm a Black man in America. And what y'all just showed to Judge Tucker is just reminded that hate and bigotry and racial reconciliation in this country, we have respected the process. I believe that Austin Metcalf is about to have his funeral. And I wouldn't dare, even with the information I know, and plenty people can share that and all that, but we have prevented from speaking about that in these type of public forums. It will come out. They have a more than well-capable attorney, and this family will go through a process of being able to get prepared for this trial. So I just say this real quick. This is our final time speaking to public and holding a press conference regarding this particular case. Now, the Next Generation Action Network will talk about Frisco ISD, but we will not do this. I will not ask this mother to do this again. The attorney will not. We won't do this again. Don't ask. We will see you at trial. Whatever venue that is, we will see you there. I stand 10 toes down supporting this family. And I want to thank all of the community leaders and people that I have seen that have came here today. Bishops and pastors and clergy, community leaders with respectability in this community. I see them today, and I want to thank them for their presence because this family needs strength right now. Thank you, and God bless you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
For the first time, we just heard from Kayla Hayes, who is the mother of Carmelo Anthony, the Frisco ISD student who was accused of stabbing and killing another Frisco ISD student at a track meet a couple weeks ago. You know, what we just heard from Hayes, if you didn't get to hear all of her comments, she was very emotional, very tearful, being held by her husband. And her message today was really informing the public of the way that her family has been impacted over the past 2 weeks. She says that her family has been threatened, they've been attacked, and they've been lied about. She said that she believes in the Constitution and the law, and her ask of the public and her ask is that we just watch this play out.
Yeah.
This case is, as what's been indicated here, is going to go to trial, and she said she wants a fair trial for her son. She was very emotional talking about the way this has impacted her other children, her husband, who she said had to take a leave from work, and she also did mention the Metcalf family. Austin Metcalf is the teenager that was killed in this case. She says that her heart goes out to this family that has suffered a loss. If you've been with us over the past hour, this press conference was actually delayed because Austin Metcalf.
So I'm going to go ahead
actually
and end
showed
her.
up to the
Thank
press
you
conference,
so
did
much,
not leave.
Channel 8 News. I really appreciated that. And man, that was wild. That kind of had a YouTube flair to it. You know, I felt like, I don't know. I definitely want to have conversations with it, but I want to sit in it there. But again, this was sad to see her in that state. You know, listen, if you're not familiar with Dominique Alexander, I remember he went to prison and then he got out and then he went to prison again for a break in parole several times and like leaving the state. Like, he's a bad boy. And so when he was there, I was like, there's no way that's him again. Like, he's definitely, changed his appearance some, as, being more businesslike, but he's not a stand-up character in his own right. And me personally, I would want to be careful who I had representing me, because I would question their agenda. Was it truly on the agenda? Was it truly for the good of the fight I was fighting? That's just me, though. I could be, that's my interpretation, my thoughts and views. But it was sad to see his mom, my gosh, she broke my heart. To hear that, the other children were having issues as well. And I can only imagine what it would be like to go to school and have people say things, to have people find you on social media. Yolanda and I did a panel last night about how, I personally, we feel attacked by certain people sometimes, and it can become overwhelming, but we have the ability to turn this machine off. We have the ability to go into the real world. So to have that attack happening at a young age, my heart absolutely breaks for that family, for both families. This is a horrible situation. And I think that's a fair ask, and for people just to sit and watch it play out before we jump to these conclusions. Again, this happened in my area. So at this last Sunday school class, one of the ladies was really, really upset in Sunday school class because the family was getting the Austin Metcalf family was getting ready to have a service. However, the church declined because they were receiving so many death threats as well. So this horrible situation has erupted into something that's wild, that's insane. When Dominique Alexander started pulling up all of those pictures, those little pages of Sarah, I wrote her. I need to go back and get her name, but I started thinking, is this a play? Like, are you really promoting her? Like, what are you guys doing? Like, that was interesting to watch that, but I definitely, this was not planned today. Let me tell y'all, this was not planned at all, but this little live has cost me a whole hell of a lot, but it's okay. I'm going to work through everything, but this was unexpected. I just wanted to make sure I grabbed this clip because I knew that this was going to be, I knew that this was going to be a hot issue. Another content creator that I'm familiar with, she was actually recording it well. And she is, a woman of color. She's Black. And they are over there. They're at 600 strong in their chat. And let me tell you, they support everything that was just said. And it's so interesting, the diverse points of view about this. But I need to take this in. I need to do some research. I need to tell y'all more about Dominique because let me tell you, he did a really good job of bringing this back to him. And there was some, I mean, maybe I've been in the metaverse too long, but I was like, oh, he's that type of person. And oh, wait, is this a play? Oh, and I want to clear something up. I want to totally give my point of view on this. I find it rude that he called Mr. Metcalf disrespectful by showing up, because he had every right to be there. I would think that, again, this is me putting myself in this situation. If the family of the person who ended my son was having a press conference in a public place, I would want to be there to listen to that, because it affects me directly. That he did not come with a big group of people. He wasn't wearing bandanas around his face. It appeared that one of his arms was even in a sling. Like, he had every intention. Again, if you go back and you watch any interview with this man in the past, he's broken. He's never too emotional. He constantly speaks of, hey, I'm just leaning on the Lord right now. You know, from what it appears, I don't know him personally, he's a humble man. And for him to say that was disrespectful, that he showed up, I think that was putting dirt on the Metcalf family's name. I think that was uncalled for. And I just wanted to say, in my opinion, that was very respectful the way he did that. And being asked to leave, you saw him walking out. You didn't see him yelling. You saw him shaking the hands of the police officers who were escorting him out. It was no issue. So for him to call that disrespectful was out of line, in my opinion. But this is that Dominique guy. See, he's been in the news several times before. So I want to do some more research, tell you more about him. And I want you guys to kind of do your own research. Yolanda says, yes, this is a good topic. I'm down if you want to elaborate, because this is a huge problem. Absolutely. But I need to do some more research. I definitely want to come in. I want to go back and look at everything. And just to recap, the Anthony family, you know, they wanted to make it clear that, hey, they didn't get any money. They don't have money. And I found that interesting. Like, you directly went to the money. I'm not sure if what's happening in that situation, why that was such a huge topic. But again, I could only imagine if something like this happened. Yeah, I mean, and people supported my son. You know, if my son was the perpetrator, you know, yeah, I would have. They should be receiving money. They have a huge battle ahead of them. And just like some people are on one side, other people are on the other side, and that other side has every right, every, you know, call to action to support their side. And so, yeah, I would only assume that people would happen. I mean, the mother spoke about the father's mental health and how it was deteriorated. I could only imagine that man probably hasn't slept more than an hour for 2 weeks now, because this is not on top of this. You're worried about your son who's never been in trouble, and now you're worried about your other kids who can't sleep alone. They're seeing signs of distress. You're no longer working. Like, it's a lot coming at them. So family talk like politicians. I feel like that was prepared for them. Yes, for sure. But see, that's dominant. See, I gotta go do my research on him. And the family demands justice as far as being you know, they're experiencing racism. And he was absolutely right to name off all of those people whose bonds were lowered. And that young man, regardless of how you feel about his action, he deserves that equal right as those people too. And his bond should be lowered. And of course it was. And he was able to come home on the ankle bracelet. They're really upset he's getting expelled for school. They don't think he should be expelled. They think that he should be able to continue on with his education. And even though he's never going to be walking the stage, and nor is he going to, I guess, be in the school, they don't think he should be expelled. And that's And see, this is the Frisco ISD. So see, if it wasn't at the two boys didn't attend the same school, obviously, because that was the issue. Like, hey, get under our school's tent, get away. But if they're in the same school district, how does that affect? I mean, they have a point there. Should he not be expelled from school? I need to check into that a little bit. And then, of course, don't ask anything about the stories because the minors can't talk. And he's absolutely right. I hope these young men aren't getting on YouTube and Instagram and talking. I got to do my research and check that out and see if that's going to work out. Oh, the political affiliation. Oh, that's Dominique, though. That's his style. Like, see, I got to go pull old stuff with him. So those were their areas. So yeah. So if you guys want to meet later and have a talk, we can definitely set something up. If not, leave them in the comments and I will do my best to seek this information. This is a very hot topic. This is one that I don't have with people in my real life because I know that they would clobber me for some of the views I have. And at the same time, I agree with some of the things that they say as well. However, I don't want the fact to be negated that a young man lost his life and both families are now having their whole world's been shook and they're now having to navigate through that. And just like she said, hey, I've never been through this before. So, definitely please be nice. And I just want to say this. I said it in the chat during the live, but so y'all hear me be like, oh, he's a slick talker. He's a word wizard. He's a double talker. See, Dominique's a slick talker, right? And so, hey, oh boy, you better go back and rewind, Joe. You better go back and rewind. You will love this. This is right up your alley. But see, Dominique's a slick talker. And what he did is when he was like, yeah, I would never ask anybody to go to their funeral that's about to happen. Like he was basically, that was undertone. He was calling to action. Hey, you saw what he did here today. And he went back and he used that word. He was disrespectful. But that was a call to action. Let's go to the funeral. Now, if that happens, let's watch and see how that plays out. And let's see how that type of interaction. I could be wrong, but I know slick talk when I hear slick talk, and that was slick talk. He was doing a call to action. You got to pay attention to not only these politicians, you got to pay attention to slick talkers because they think they're good at saying something, but they're underlying saying something. So that's a Texas thing for shit show. So remember when he brought up the judge, Angela Tucker, he was like, hey, she's a Republican. I'm a Democrat. I don't know anything about her. I've never met her. I thought, oh my God, they've met. Right. So I bet I need to go do some research. But as I was saying, he has been in the court systems. He's gone to prison for 2 years and he was actually sent back. I just did a quick Google research during the live. But I need to dig more into that. So I'm wondering if somewhere along the lines, she was a judge for him. See, listen, this is Dallas. This is how it is in Dallas. It runs deep here in Dallas. People are connected to people who are connected to people. And everybody acts like they don't know everybody. But in reality, they all doing some slick talking stuff. I'm telling you. Yeah, good to see you, Joe. For sure, though, go back. You're going to love this. One family has lost their kid and another has just bought it. So that was one of the, that's one of the rumors that they were really saying they didn't buy a house. The wife was saying that her husband works hard to provide the best life he can for their family, which regardless of who you are as a man, that is your God-given right to provide the best life for your family. So people are saying that they already got the GoFundMe, the whatever that mother, the other, had a weird name. I should have wrote it down. They got funds from there, but they just got notification yesterday. They can receive the funds and they should receive them by next week, basically. So I think that that's a false rumor that's going around the internet. And he said that that was a rumor that was started to discourage people from donating to the Austin family. And he did encourage them, hey, you can donate though. And so he basically told them how to get it. Hey, again, that sounded like a YouTube play to me through and through right there. What up, those? I'm exposed or slip. Oh, yeah, that's everywhere for sure. And a sweet Dunkin' like. So, yeah, I definitely need to do some research into this. I wanted, because there's so many gems. There's so many gems to be picked and talked about and expanded upon this. Although this is a very, very tragic incident, there are opportunities to at least have conversations, and if not, make change, perhaps just inspire. So I will be following up on this story. You guys let me know what y'all think. Now, I got to go, y'all. I'm supposed to really be doing stuff today. I had to stop what I was doing for you guys and bring this to you. So I ask now that you stop what you're doing, hit that like button, make sure to subscribe, and I will your sources are all biased though, so you're gonna echo the same smelly BS. Wrong, because I just said I'm not gonna finish talking about it. I was kind of doing a recap. Then I needed to go and do my own research. And I like how he said you can go and talk to the school. Now I have no desire to go talk to the school because that's that young man. Let that, that young man's going through a lot. He doesn't need what's up, Cynthia, snooping around his life. But you're absolutely right. But go and do research. And if you can think of any great places that I need to go and research, please feel free to leave them in the chat. Make sure to check out this article. Did you watch this video? If not, I'm going to just go where the rabbit hole takes me and come back and let you know what I found. And just like Dominique says, to enjoy the day, Cynthia, I send that right back to each and every one of you. Enjoy your day as well.